Good morning, trade pros. Welcome to our morning market update for Friday, February 23rd. Um, Today I'm sitting. I have a standing desk, and today it's in sitting mode. I'm not even going to pretend to want to stand today for the whole trading session. But welcome aboard. In today's morning market update, we're going to talk about a few things, quite a few things, and I'm going to take you through an overview of the equity markets overnight. We're also going to talk about Jerome Powell's upcoming testimony to Congress next week. Donald Trump is calling a key meeting for next week as well. Australian Prime Minister's meeting with Donald Trump, and that's it. So we're going to talk about a few things. Equity markets overall at nighttime in the Asian session, rather in Japan, are up 0.7%. In Hong Kong, they're up 1%. In China, they're up 0.6%. And India, they're up 1 whole percentage point as well. All right, in Europe here in markets at midday, London was down 0.2, Paris was down 1/10 of a percentage point, and Frankfurt was up 0.1%. So a little bit of mixed markets in Europe, some slight weakness, but overall strength in the Asian market in their last session of the week. All right, in the United States, futures, Dow Jones is up 0.4%, S&P 500 up 1/3 of a percentage point, NASDAQ's up 0.4%, and crude oil is down once again, down 0.4 to 62.54. We sent an email to our swing trade subscribers yesterday, and we were talking about the potential for oil to start turning here, and we suggested some levels at which you could take a swing trade or a bit of a medium-term play in this thing. Remember, I'm a day trader at heart, so a medium-term play for me is a couple days. That seems like eternity in all ages. But that's oil. Gold prices are pretty much flat around the 1330s, and Bitcoin is up once again today, up 4% at 10,222. I'm going to tell you one thing on Bitcoin. The last couple of days, we've seen selling on increasing volume. So I don't know if this is the time to sort of jump into Bitcoin, but I do know the time is coming soon. We are going to have an opportunity. On Sunday, I'm going to tell you about a cryptocurrency that I've been reading up into and why it's super exciting, and it's trading at 30 cents. And it could be the next wave of cryptocurrency opportunity. And I'm going to personally start getting into it, not as a trade, but more as an investment for the longer term and more of the catalyst behind the technology and what it's doing rather than just day trading it. All right. I've long said that cryptocurrencies are not the best for day trading, but they're going to be around forever. So you got to get involved somehow, and you have to become an investor. One of the biggest misconceptions is that traders can't be investors and vice versa. It's sort of like having two lineups. Are you a trader or you're an investor? Well, if you're a really good trader and you start making good money, you're going to have to be an investor at some point in something in your life. If you start to accumulate the cash, it might be real estate, it might be whatever it is. I'm going to try some on the crypto as well because I already have some real estate, and prices here in Toronto are absolutely ridiculous. I'm not adding to my portfolio right now, that's for sure. All right, so this morning at 10:15, we have Fed's Dudley. We have a whole slew of Fed speakers today. 10:15, Fed's Dudley talks about monetary policy. 10:15, we also have Fed's Rosengren on the wire. 1 p.m., we have the all-important Baker Hughes rig count, and all the Baker Hughes shows is production output from the United States from shale operations. So that's going to be important to OPEC and to the oil price overall. So if you're trading this afternoon, 1 p.m., watch crude oil. It's going to get volatile. All right, 1:30, we have Fed's Messer speaking, and 3:40, we have Fed's Williams. So we have four Fed speakers in the span of one trading day, which is wild. I'll tell you why in a second. Jerome Powell is expected to release a report, and the Federal Reserve, the central bank rather, releases monetary policy report today. And traders and investors are looking this to be a blueprint for what Powell is going to talk about next week in front of Congress. So this is going to be, he's going to testify in front of Congress. Where am I? He's going to testify in front of Congress next week, and that's going to be very important because that'll be his first session as Fed chair, and everybody's going to be watching it, especially if you're a trader, investor involved in the finance industry. That's going to be super important, what he says about the Fed, and all the markets are going to be looking for how does it differ from the rhetoric from Janet Yellen, if it does differ at all. All right, so very interesting stuff coming up next week. Today we have a ton of Fed speakers at the U.S. Monetary Policy Forum. It's an annual conference, and I'm sure it's really boring, and people are going to be fighting to stay awake at it. But as traders, we get the advantage of only hearing the good things that come out on our newswire. We don't have to listen to it all. So I'll keep the trading room posted. If you're not in there, get in there. What are you waiting for? We have a 14-day money-back guarantee. You should be trying out the trading room. If you're listening to me now, it's worth a shot. because I get to do a lot more analysis levels and actual live trading with you guys versus just doing the morning market update, swiveling in my chair and disappearing for the rest of the day. All right. Donald Trump has called a meeting with senators and cabinet officials next week. He's going to discuss changes to the biofuel policy. So this comes in light of the Philadelphia Energy Solutions bankruptcy. So the company filed for bankruptcy, and they blamed regulations and the biofuel emergence for their lack of progress, lack of success. While this is important because if there's any changes to the biofuels policy, then that will impact oil as well, because biofuels are in competition with crude oil prices, a traditional fossil fuel source. So look for that. That's going to be next week. We'll keep you guys posted. And that meeting will talk about whether or not to cap these biofuel credits. And he might allow higher ethanol blends to be sold all year. And if that's the case, then you could expect to see a little bit of downside or bearishness into crude oil. All right. So look for that. It's going to be very interesting. Today, some things you have to watch the traders, Australian dollar. So I would say watch the dollar today in addition to your regular correlatory markets. Why is that? Because Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull will be meeting with Donald Trump at the White House today. They're going to discuss China's rising influence as potential topics, and they're going to talk about Australian pension money being invested into United States infrastructure. So Donald Trump is going to ask Malcolm Turnbull, hey, invest into our infrastructure program. He's trying to source or raise funds from outside, and Australia is going to try to convince him to rejoin the Trans-Pacific Partnership, all right, the TPP. And why is that? Because Australia gets to do free trade with the United States. That's why that's important to Australia. So it's going to be an interesting meeting for some bilateral trade, for some potential investment infrastructure. Watch for that and any news coming out today. And watch for any infrastructure and construction stocks. They're going to probably react to this news to a large extent. All right, let's end off the broadcast by saying this. Sorry, my eye got scratchy, itchy. You know, it's been a crazy night. I didn't get too much sleep last night. That's why I have so much energy. Look forward to the 2 p.m. crash. You know, markets usually crash in the afternoon on a down day. So do I. Not into things while I'm driving, but just the energy usually kind of tapers off around that time. All right, here's something cool about Intel. So this is really cool. Intel actually didn't inform U.S. officials about its flaws, and it knew about them 6 months before they became public. Google actually, this is based on emails and meeting notes that have been pulled up and surfaced and made available by Bloomberg. But this is the interesting part. Google told Intel 6 months before it got leaked to the public about those two bugs. Let me just see what they're called. Spectre and Meltdown. Man, those both sound like really good, like superhero movies, doesn't it? Spectre coming in to save the day, and Meltdown. Meltdown's the second volume to that series. But what I'm saying here is basically this. Intel knew about this, and their whole reason for not telling regulators or not telling anybody and keeping it to themselves. Get this. This is very funny. They said the following. I'm going to read it to you. Because they hadn't reported, Intel said it hadn't reported the issue because there wasn't any evidence of hacking. All right. It's a little bit of a boneheaded thing to say. Look for Intel to be weak. I think that's just terrible. It's kind of like knowing that your friend's got a flat tire and saying, well, I just let him drive around with it because he hadn't crashed already with it. Well, you know, the vulnerability is there. So just because the hacking hasn't happened, the longer it hasn't happened, the more likely it was to happen. So it's a little bit of a low blow from Intel's part. This news coming out will probably lead to some weakness in Intel. If you want to try a short side trade, you could try a put spread on it. That's probably the cheapest way for you to position yourself to make big profit, but risk a very small amount of capital. That's what being a trade pro is all about. It's not about making $60 trillion in 12 seconds, although that would be nice. It's about finding low risk, profitable opportunities and knowing how to structure your options trades so you don't risk a large part of your account, but you could make a large part of a return of that account. That's the idea behind trading like a trade pro. All right, that's what I got for you guys. One of the benefits of sitting down today. You're going to see it in a second. But if you guys have any questions, pop in the comment box. Please like, share, subscribe. We got a lot of great stuff coming your way. On Saturday, we got a video coming out at 1 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, I'm going to talk about one of the cryptocurrencies that I think is going to really make its debut, and it's going to explode. I mean, if you just, it's 30 cents right now. If it goes to $5, $6 even, that's good. But what if it goes to $2.50, right? So I'll chat with you guys on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll post a video, and Saturday. You guys leave any comments in the section below. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell everybody about this morning market update. Let's make. I'm going to use this quote from our trading room. I think Wynn said that at trading room again, or yesterday. He said, George is making the markets great again. And let's get your help with that. Share it with your friends, family. Heck, if your grandmother's talking about stocks, share it with her too. I'd love to see her on board as well. So I'll see you guys on Monday for our next live update, and look forward to 2 great videos this weekend at 1 p.m. Saturday and 1 p.m. on Sunday. You guys take care. Have an awesome weekend. Hope you've enjoyed your week. Spend some time with your family and loved ones and unwind this weekend and get ready to do this all over again on Monday. Take care, guys. All the best. I'll see you on Monday. Patented chair spin in 3, 2, 1. I'll see you guys Monday. That's great. I got to do the patented chair spin. It's been a while since I've done it, Victoria. Feeling great about the patented chair spin. All right, YouTube, I'm trying to shut down the broadcast, but you guys get to see the back of my head for a while longer. See you later.